Hello guys, welcome back to Knowledge and Awareness TV. If you're new here, my name is Kelly and this channel focuses on creating awareness. In my last video, we started discussing on how to rent a home in the UK, and I cover about 3 steps on how to rent a home in the UK, which were understand your budget, decide on your requirements, search for property. Today we are continuing that conversation in part 2. This time we are going to be diving into arrange viewing, check tenancy requirement, understand the tenancy agreement, and also secure your deposit, move in the understand your right and responsibility in this video. And if you haven't seen part 1 yet, don't worry, I have linked it in the description below. Make sure to check it out so you don't miss the foundational steps we have already covered. Alright, let's jump right into part 2 of our guide to renting in the UK. Step 4. Arrange viewings. There are things that you need to consider when viewing a property in the UK. First of all, you have to check for the water pressure by turning on the taps. Look for damp, mold, or structural issue. If there's any structural issue, make sure you speak to your landlord or your agent immediately when you're viewing the house. Ask about the heating system, boiler age. So you need to make sure you ask those questions because you don't want to go to a house where the heating system is not working. Just imagine right now that we are in the winter season, and then your boiler or your heating system is not working. Then you'll be freezing in the house. So just make sure you confirm all those things are working properly before you pay your rent or you pay your deposit. Again, remember to ask the landlord or the agent that what are the furnishings that are included. Remember to view multiple properties before you can, so that you can be able to compare all the properties together and make your informed choice. Is very important. The viewing day, make sure you ask any questions that you think you're doubting. Any doubts, make sure you ask your landlord or agent that is with you that particular day. You go home and you think there's something that you're not sure about, like you need clarification about something, make sure you ring your landlord or your agent to ask them any question further before you proceed. But if you think you're having a doubt about the property, do not proceed because there are always many properties for you to look out for. Step 5. Check tenant requirements. Tenancy requirements. There are documents landlords or agents typically request from the tenant, which are proof of immigration status. Therefore, you have to provide your right to live or rent in the UK, which is showing your share code to the landlord. Then proof of ID. Proof of ID could be your passport or driver license. For those who are from Africa, such as Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, you come with your passport. You can go with your passport. But those who are already in the UK, you can, if you have a driver's license, you can go with your driver license, or you can still go with your passport. It depends on you. So you have to take one of those. So you don't need to go with all of them, but you can go with one of those, either passport or driver license. And then proof of income. So your proof of income, you could use your pay slip or bank statement. So it's up to you. You can just use your pay slip, that's okay, or bank statement. They'll still take it. Then a reference. You can get a reference from your current or previous landlord. But if you don't have any current or previous landlord, and if you have like probably like a job already, you can also get reference from there. So you just have to prove to them that at least you're serious and you're a genuine tenant. If you're new into the UK from Africa or from Asia or from any of the country that you've never rented a property in the UK before, you can actually get a reference from your university or college. You can get a reference from a guarantor. You can also get a reference from just someone that you're living with. But if you don't have any reference, if you can also get a character reference from someone that has known you for probably 2 years, and the person can give you a character reference for you to rent. But if you have like you don't even know anybody in the UK, don't worry, because you can also offer a larger sum of deposit if they don't really trust you, or you can pay probably like your 6 months rent, or if you can pay even up to 3 months rent, just to prove that you're willing and ready to rent. Yeah, landlord or agent will need to do a credit check to assess your financial reliability, and for foreigners you will need a guarantor before you rent your first property in the UK, because many landlords will not really trust you 100% that you'll be able to pay your rent. And for anybody coming from Africa, Asia, or any part of the world, if it's your first time renting in the UK, you will need a guarantor, or you also need a character reference. It's very important. Also, it is important to prepare all these documents in advance in order to speed up the process. Step 6. Understand the tenancy agreement. A tenancy agreement is a legal contract outlining the terms between the tenant and the landlord. There are key things to look out for in the tenancy agreement, which are rent amount, due date, length of tenancy. Is it 6 months? Is it 12 months? The notice period for leaving. Maintenance responsibility, which are you need to ask your landlord or agent that who is going to be fixing any appliances if it's bad or it need to be repaired. So you need to make sure you ask them. Again, this part of tenancy agreement is very important. Why am I saying this? Because you need to go through your tenancy agreement. Don't just sign it and come and keep it in the house without reading through it very well and carefully, because many times people keep saying that, oh, my landlord, I got evicted because my landlord was not good, my landlord was bad. But sometimes it's because people miss out on their tenancy agreement. There are some particular things, or there are some certain things which are very essential on the tenancy agreement. So you have to take your time to read through it until you finish every pages. If there's any way of highlighting any keywords or any key phrases that you see or you found on the tenancy agreement, do it, because it's going to really be helpful, especially the amount, the due date, when it's going to expire, then also the notice period for leaving. So if the landlord, before you renting, the landlord told you that this period that you're renting, you cannot rent again after the period has expired, make sure you note it down, because many people are making story on social media sometimes that it's not adding up to me. Step 7. Secure your deposit. Deposit requirements mean landlord may ask the tenant for a holding deposit to reserve the property while the tenants finalize the rental agreement. Usually is 5 weeks. And remember not to pay any money to any landlord or agent without viewing the house. It's very important, because you need to avoid scammers. And scammers also want to make money out of people's pockets, so they want to be rich as well. So you need to be mindful who you're depositing your money to, or you're paying any rent to. Also, do not trust your friends or anybody in the UK if you're living in a shared accommodation, or you're living with friends and family that you're also renting from them. Be very careful as always, just to avoid problem with one another. And remember that the landlord and the agent prove to you that your deposit is protected by law. You should receive the confirmation of your deposit within 24 hours or a week. So if it's more than 24 hours or more than a week, there must be a problem. So you need to ring them back up to tell them what is going on. Let them send your confirmation of your deposit. But most of the time it's always within an hour or within 2 hours. But if it lasts up to 24 hours or a week, make sure you chase it up, your landlord or agent. Step 8. Move in day. Wait, this is the best day ever, but also very stressful. Move in day, there are some steps that will make your move in day very smooth. Make sure you conduct an inventory check with the landlord or agent. Document property condition with photos, especially any existing damage, so that the landlord or agent will not come later when you're leaving the property and tell you that you have to pay for the damage. It's very important. Get emergency contact details for repair, or if there's any issue, you need to contact them. Step 9. Understand your rights and responsibilities. Tenant right. Landlord must provide a safe and habitable property. Landlord must repair any structural issue, heating and appliances, because some landlords and agents, when you get the property already, even if something is wrong, for example, you don't have hot water, you contact them, they might not come immediately to repair it. That is very wrong, because you have to, you can even report them, because normally they have to come immediately. Because how can you cope in a winter period? Even in summer, you still need hot water in order to do a lot of things. You still need the hot water because UK is always cold. I know that sometimes some private landlord can make it hard for you. When you call them even several days, they'll say they are coming, they will never come. If that issue continue, make sure that you have evidence, so that if it continue, you report them. Also, this video is also going to be helpful for those that they might have private landlord, because most private landlord in the UK will make you feel like you don't know your rights when you're renting. Try to prove to them that you know your right, because they'll take advantage of that. You know the laws about property renting. Tenant responsibility. Pay your rent on time. Maintain cleanliness and avoid causing damage, because when you maintain cleanliness, there'll be no mold, there'll be no damp in the house, in the property. Bear in mind that when there's too much mold in the house, it can cause asthma to the children and respiratory problem or respiratory diseases. Also, report any maintenance issue promptly. Immediately when you find out that there's a leakage, there's any damage, or the boiler is not working properly, or the heating system is not working properly, try to report it immediately to the landlord or agent. Step 10. Avoid scam. There are several people out there pretending to be landlords or private landlords, because those people, they are fake landlords. And how do you determine if someone is fake landlord? They'll request for payment before you viewing the property. In the UK, you must view the property if you like the property before you can have an offer, then moving on to making a deposit. So do not pay any money to anybody before viewing the property. Even if it's your friend or anybody, do not make any payment. If they request that money by cash, do not pay any money to anyone by cash. If any landlord or agent requests for cash payment without a receipt, do not even do it. Do not even give them any cash, unless they have a receipt that you've seen their details on the receipt before you can sign the receipt and make the payment. Do not pay anything without evidence, because those people will scam you and you will not be able to do anything because there is no evidence that you actually pay them. If you're sharing a house with a friends or family, if you're making any payment to them, make sure that you have your evidence, so that one day if there's an issue, you'll be able to justify yourself with evidence. Don't trust anybody in the UK. A lot of people are coming out here every day on social media explaining how they were scammed. So let's us not be victim as well. Step 11. Final tips. Start your search early. When you're planning to relocate, you have to start your search very early. Then negotiate rent. If you have to negotiate the rent, it's allowed for you to negotiate the rent, not because the landlord or agent said the rent is 600, the rent is 800, and then you just go and say yes, you pay the 600. No, you can negotiate it. Tell them your reason why you're negotiating. Give them any reason. For example, if you find a house on Zoopla or Rightmove that it was listed there for probably a month, 2 months, 3 months, you can negotiate it because it's been there for quite some time, so you have the right to negotiate that property. Yeah. Then keep a copy of all your documents and all evidence, any photo, video that you took from while viewing the property. Keep them for reference. Or if anything happened, or if the landlord changes his mind, or the agent, you have to use those evidence. If you want to even report them, or if you want to get advice, they'll be able to help you because you have evidence. Guys, we have come to the end of this video. If you enjoy watching this video, do what to subscribe to this channel and hit off the notification bell. Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you have any questions or personal experiences about renting in the UK, let's continue the conversation in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. See you all in my next video.